Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will be discussing about type conversion. Let us discuss about the print command in Python. Print command in Python accepts an argument, and this argument can be of different data types. So, for example, if we have a is equal to 10, b is equal to 10, a is equal to 20, b is equal to 10, print of a plus b prints 30. So instead of variables, if I pass numbers also, it gives the output. Print of my name is Kabir within double quotes prints it. Or if I want to give any string and a variable, even that is acceptable. If I want something to appear in the next line, then slash back, front slash n moves to the next line. So x is equal to front slash n will move to the next line, and there the value of x will get printed. Or I can also use a format specifier like percentage d, like we do in C. I have percentage d apples comma m, so m value is 6. It will be substitute over here. To accept the input, by default, the input that is accepted is in string format. It can be typecasted for integer or float. So, for example, input of enter name. So, here the user will enter a name which will go to this particular variable. Another example, if I say input enter age, so this accepts an input which is converted into an integer variable, and that goes and sits in age variable. Input enter marks gets converted to a float, and that goes to marks. Now let us discuss about type conversion. There are two types of type conversion. One is implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. Type conversion means we convert the value from one data type to another data type. Type conversion, change from one type to the other type. And there are two types, implicit and explicit. Now in implicit, we are not doing anything. We don't write any code for it. This is automatic. Implicit type conversion. See, generally when we by the word English, by the English meaning of the word implicit, what we mean is something which happens on its own, and explicit is something which we emphasize on, we do it. That is explicit, and implicit is that's within the process. So here implicit type conversion means the user does not do anything here. So let us consider one example here. Here I give a principal amount 2000. The rate of interest is 4.5. The duration is 10. Now I calculate the simple interest PNR by 100, and this is how it gets calculated. Now what will be the type of this principal amount? This is going to be an integer. So data type of principal amount, comma, type of principal amount. Here I want to understand the data type of principal amount. So this is nothing but an integer. Type of ROI. So I know that I've given 4.5, so it will be a float. I want to print the value. See, so a value of simple interest is this. Now, in this simple interest that got calculated, here the type of simple interest, see, I had one integer and a float. So let us consider if I have 2.2 into 2, the result is 4.4. So by default, the result that I'm getting is float. So here simple interest has by default taken the data type of float, because I'm multiplying float and integer. Float and integer, if I multiply 2.2 into 2, then the result will be 4.4, which is a float value. So simple interest by default is a float variable, float data type variable. So here when I try to print data type of simple interest, it gives float. Few other examples of implicit type conversion where we are not doing anything, like we are considering the print statement. See here, if I give 10 and hello, it shows an error. because I cannot add an int and a string together. If I want to concatenate, I should convert that 10 to a string. Or if I want something to be added, then I have to convert this hello. Another example, if I say a string into a number, it the string gets printed those many times. If I give a plus, then it doesn't work. But then if I give an into, it gets printed those many times. If I have a boolean and a number, so boolean, if it is true, it is taken as a 1. If it is false, it's taken as a 0. So it gets converted that way. True plus 10 will give me 11. So here by default, this x is getting converted into a number. Boolean is getting converted to an integer without the user typing anything. Let us consider another example. Here n value is 23, m is false. So here it is print of 23 minus false is nothing but 0. So it becomes 23 minus 0, which is nothing but a 23. Here again the boolean gets converted to an integer. Another example, if I try to print boolean and a string together, it shows an error. If I have string and a float, even that gives an error. But a string and a float and a boolean, see, the float value is 2.4, boolean value is true, so true means it's taken as 1. 2.4 plus 1 becomes 3.4. Now we will talk about explicit type conversion. We briefly saw what is explicit type conversion when we were reading about input function to accept the input. So here we use functions like int, float, str, so that we can convert from one type to the other. So let us consider an example here. See, I specify the birthday as 10, birth month as July. So the type here 10 is integer, July is string. Here what I will do is I will convert this day 10 to a string. So here what did I do? I said string of birthday. So now it has become a string of birthday. That gets assigned to a variable birthday. So this birthday has a string variable. See, now after I typecast, now birthday is of type str because it is typecasted, and now I can print both together. I can say print birthday. Uh, I can say print birthday plus birth month. It's allowed because I converted it to a string. Few more examples. See here 20 plus apples. Here what did I do is I changed this 20 to a string. So it became a string of this. So it became 20 as the string and apple. So it printed 20 plus apples. Here again 20.3 and 10. So now I changed this 20.3 to an integer number. So it became 20 plus 10. So the result became 30. M is equal to false, N is equal to 5. Bool of N. Bool of N means here I am converting this number 5 to a Boolean value. So in case if it is, see, how do I convert an integer to a Boolean? Integer 0 is taken as false. Everything higher than 0 is considered as a 1, is considered as a true. So now it became true plus false, which will again give me a true value 1. So consider if I have boolean value, if I have a boolean value false and a floating point number 15.6 and I perform the AND operation. So if I give 15.6 and true, then it gives the result as true. See here 15.6. 15.6 will give me true. This is true and true, so it will give a true. If had it been false, I would have got the result as false because I'm using the and operation here. And wants both to be true. So 15.6 will give me a true. If B is false, I will get the result as false. If B is true, I will get the result as true. Another example, if I have a string 0 and a boolean value true, and then I add both. See, B is true, so it is giving me a 1. Bool of A, some string is there, it is not null. So here, bool of A will give me 1. We should not go by what is there in the string. We should go by if it has some alphabets or not. Yes, it has some alphabets. So it will be 1. 1 plus 1 will give me a 2 here. If I try to convert a string to a float, it gives me an error. A string to a float and then adding up another float, it gives an error. Thank you.